Welcome to Milo's Mods, ladies and gentlemen. So, since my worker Harrier came in, and it is such an awesome blaster, there are other options out there from worker, just to let you guys know. This video is mainly for new people in the group, or new people to the community, rather. So, I'm going to try to explain how worker blasters came to be and the iterations you could see over time from them. Let's begin, shall we? First off, we'll start about the company itself, Worker. Worker is known for making Talon magazines and darts and modification parts and stuff like that. Well, a while back, they decided that they were going to try to make blasters. This is one of the first offerings that they came out with. This is a prophecy. This prophecy was actually built by that old Nerf guy. Thanks, David. But in any event, it's a rather interesting blaster. This blaster was basically designed to cash in on the Retaliator platform, which was like the go-to standard in the hobby for the longest time, where the Elite Retaliator owned the field. But those days are long since buried. That blaster shoots at about 160 to 170, which is pretty good for prophecy. They made a couple other offerings since then. They made the Worker Terminator, which was kind of a flop. And they made a couple other blasters, which were kind of hit and miss or kind of feeling out their audience. But then they happened upon a couple decent ones. Like one of the ones that they happened upon was the Cheetah. This is actually the Cheetah 2.0. I have a Cheetah 1.0 upstairs, actually. But this is Worker's answer to the Eon Pro. This blaster shoots 200 FPS right out of the box. You have to put it together. It's not hard to put together. It's just got a kind of quirky loading mechanism where that barrel, you have to slide it forward and then back to chamber a dart. It's a rather unique system, rather ingeniously designed, absolutely. But it just takes too long to load and fire a dart. But it was a good opportunity and a good thing for them to learn about. Well, what they also did was that they decided to start playing around with flywheel blasters too. This was one of their first offerings. This is the original Worker Phoenix. Original Worker Phoenix was about $100 or $150 right out of the gate when it came out. It's a triple stage flywheel blaster. Now you may say, well, that's great. That'll shoot darts really fast. Normally, if a person in the community built it, it would. That blaster would do 200. Not a problem. No ifs, ands, or buts, especially on a 3S LiPo. But because it was done by Worker, it does about 150. It shoots about 9 darts a second or so, which is pretty good. And it was great. It really was great. But then they decided to kind of try their hand at another flywheel blaster. So what they did is that they reskinned the Phoenix into this guy here. This is the Phoenix 2.0. Okay, the Phoenix 2.0 was just a reskin of the original 1.0 with a different color aesthetic, different shell aesthetic and such. And they did add a stock to it and a foregrip, which was pretty nice, actually. Well, then they decided that they're going to try a flywheel pistol. So they tried this guy, the Worker Nightingale. This is a really nice little pistol, great for HVZ, does about 120 or so. Proprietary mags, though. The mags are really little. The funny thing about those mags is that they'll also fit into a S200 fire rat as well, with no modification, just friction fit them right in. But that was really cool that they actually made a nice flywheel pistol. And it's not real milsim like the Phoenix 2.0 or the 1.0. It kind of has like a Captain Kirk Star Trek phaser theme going. It's kind of nice. I like it, But so then they decided, well, we're going to build a couple more springers. So they built the Worker Swift. When this blaster came out, it was supposed to do like 300 right out of the box. And it pretty much did, but it had problems. Such as, and this is my Swift, and it's been modified since then. That's a metal dart gate. The original dart gate was made out of plastic. Just plastic. And it would crack because you're shooting with such force. It does have a nice smooth prime to it. And this one's got all metal internals too. But the other problem that they had with it was the O-rings. The O-rings were not the best in the world, and you would get air leaks, and you would drop FPS. Way to fix it is just get bigger O-rings. There was a guy named, he runs a channel on YouTube called Dart Sweep. He was the man that turned me on to the better O-rings for this. You buy them, they're like 3 cents a piece. They ship them to you in a box in about a week, and your blaster will do 300 easily. But this one's got the 550 barrel in it, the 1.6 spring in it. It's got all metal guts. It shoots like a tank now. And so then they sat there and they were like, well, the Swift did so well, but yet it had problems. Let's try to fix all the problems with the Swift and make a new blaster. This is it right here. That's the Worker Harrier. Brand new blaster. This blaster has several things that the Worker Swift did not. It has a threaded barrel system, first of all, which is a lot better than the one from the Swift that you have to take a set screw to remove it. Okay, you just screw it in, screw it out. And some people say, well, what about air leaks? Put 1 wrap of Teflon tape around it before you screw the barrel in. Blaster also has an auto return spring too. So that way when you prime it, you can let go of that priming handle and it will go forward. The other thing is, it's got a metal dart gate in it as well. The O-rings are much better than the ones on the Swift. Blaster shoots a lot harder. It has a very awesome air seal to it too. I mean, you can definitely see that Worker is definitely trying to improve themselves and step up their game into the American and world market. I mean, don't be shy from them. I know most people in the community, they've bought from Worker before and they kind of know what to expect. They really do have decent quality and all that. But you say these blasters are expensive. Sure are. But a friend of mine, Dwayne Stanley, told me if you want the good stuff, you have to spend the money to do it. The same truth holds today as it did 5 years ago when he told me this. Well, until next time, this is Myler's Mods signing off.